Let me read you that one. William E. Spiers, 1849 to 1901. That's me. Me. I hope when we finished our little talk this morning, you'll see that there's more than a stone behind the grave. The sign of a life is what we're looking to show you. A good life, I hope.
There you go again, philosophizing, Willie, and boring these poor folks half to death with your stories.
My wife, Ida. Ida, dear, I was just trying to tell these good folks that if that there stone could talk, well...
Oh, my goodness. There he goes, trying to hide behind the dead. If that stone could talk, it would sing. Oh, Willie, it's a frightening thing to see your name carved in marble when your heart beat with such kindness.
Well, no heart beats alone, Ida. You were my silent partner in everything, and no one knows how much you gave.
Oh, you're not going to hide behind me either. Now, these folks can only read the names carved in stone, but what they want to feel is the pulse. They want to know about the life behind the man. Do you know that my husband's influence can be felt throughout Glens Falls if you only look deeply enough? Why, his reputation was one...
Oh, now, Ida.
Open your book, Willie, and take some notes. See that notebook he's carrying? Everyone who ever saw him around Glens Falls always saw him scribbling away in that notebook. He was always taking notes on his next business venture, or as he called it, his next business adventure. Of course, he never let me in on his plans. He always said, never let the right hand know what the left hand is doing.
Very good principle, don't you think?
Not one to let his light shine too brightly, my Willie. He was always hiding himself behind everyone else. From the time he was a lowly clerk in a store till he became partner of my father's business, he was always looking for the next business venture. As a matter of fact, see those collars and cuffs that he's wearing? Now, I realize that that's not the height of fashion today, but in our day, the Glens Falls Collar Company was a business that grew to enormous proportions, and it was all spearheaded by my Willie. From those stiff collars and cuffs came the paper mill. And from the paper mill, my husband became the president of the International Paper Company. Why, everything he touched seemed to grow, from little acorns.
Do giant oak trees grow? Now, if I may be permitted to speak, that is, if you finish boring these poor people with the trivia of my earthly enterprises.
Certainly, now that the embarrassment's been weathered and I've done all the hard work. But don't you go boring them with cold, hard facts.
No, you are, of course, right, my dear. There's more to a man's life than what he did to earn a living. By the grace of God, I was given a wife who, as you may have noticed, is not frightened to speak her mind, and a son, Lester Morgan, our only child and heir. And I was able to watch him grow up to be a fine young man until I died at age 52. I went into the hospital for mastoiditis, the ear, you know, an infection. And back in our day, a tricky operation. And surprisingly, potentially, well, fatal.
But it was a blessing that he was able to die in our home in New York City and not surrounded by strangers. Now, that wasn't where he wanted to be, of course. His favorite home was our home here in Glens Falls. That was our favorite, wasn't it, Willie?
The mansion.
Yes. If you asked anyone in Glens Falls where William E. Spiers lived, they always called it the mansion. But it wasn't a mansion to us, even if it was a big home. It was our home, our happy, happy home. And we had so many wonderful memories there. It was just north of the Episcopal Church. As a matter of fact, if you people stood in the Travelers Insurance parking lot, oh yes, I know what's going on, even if I am dead. If you stand in the Travelers Insurance parking lot, you can still see those giant pillars that surrounded our property. But that's all that's left of it now.
Well, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, Ida. And if those stones and those pillars could talk, they would talk about the happy times we had at the mansion and all the success we had, as well as the struggles we endured, and as our faith deepened. Stone sharpens stone, the old saying goes, and God knew what he was doing when he gave me you, and a son that any father could be proud of.
Willie, Lester had much to live up to. Well, he was only a senior at Yale when my Willie died, and how could a young boy be expected to fill the shoes of a man with so many business enterprises? Insurance and banking, mining here and in South America. Well, nobody knew to what extent my husband's business ventures had taken him.
Well, don't just rattle off cold, hard facts now.
You're right, but I will say one more thing. No one who knew my husband ever thought of him as less than an honest man. And that's saying something with how successful he was. Anyone who knew him thought that his success and his wealth came from good, fair means. As a matter of fact, to this day, his reputation remains unsullied as a testament to the life of a good, solid man.
Well, I owe it all to my faith, Presbyterian, and proud to share my good fortune with those less fortunate.
And his legacy lives on. As a matter of fact, the Young Men's Christian Association, not the one over there on Glen Street, but the one in the center of Glens Falls. It now houses Spot Coffee, and it used to house the Godnick Furniture Building. Do you know the building I'm talking about? Well, that structure was as a result of my husband's efforts. As a matter of fact, Spire Falls Dam, most of you probably have heard of that. That dam was named for my husband. Eugene Ashley, the driving force behind the dam, thought so highly of my husband that he decided to name the most powerful water dam of its time after my Willie because of his connection to the paper mills.
Well, you know, folks, I learned a long time ago that good deeds are the only thing that follows you after life. That it's more important to be remembered for a single act of kindness than for all the money you made and all the empires you build. But then there's the dam. That's something special. Spire Falls Dam, named after me. Why, that's enough to make a dead man's heart gallop.
Gallop? Oh, tell him about the horses, Willie.
Oh, now you did it, Gord. How I love to watch those harness horses race, beautiful animals racing around the track. And our own horse, John R. Gantry, who ran a mile in just over 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 1 second. 1 second over 2 minutes. My heart was pounding then. It's a shame I never got to see our other horse, Major Delmar, race.
Oh, I forgot. Well, you didn't know? Well, how could you know? You were dead. Well, as a matter of fact, you are dead. Actually, we're both dead. I digress. Delmar, William, Delmar.
Yes, tell me about Delmar.
2 years after you died, we entered him in a race in Memphis, Tennessee.
And?
Yes.
Did he? Don't keep me in suspense, woman, did he?
Yes. He was the first harness racehorse to come in under 2 minutes for the mile race. 1 minute, 59 3/4 seconds.
Wow! Dolly!
I knew you'd be excited.
Delmar certainly did us proud. Oh, excuse us. I must apologize for the outburst there.
You do no such thing. It's been a long time since we've ever be able to be excited about anything.
Thank you.
William E. Spire, 1849 to 1901. You were the one who did us all proud, Willie. And today your legacy lives on. The Spire Falls Dam will forever bear our family's name. And today, you folks have been able to bear witness to all of the things that my husband has done for this community. You're able to know the goodness and the kind acts and the achievements that my Willie has done to make this community the Glens Falls that we all know and love. Thank you.